to the 25th day of January 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. This is an exercise that I do each and every day, a little bit after waking up. It's now 6:11 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use the time to think about the last 24 hours, how I did with the challenges and the opportunities that I met. I recite the 8 objectives of my creed, I plan for the coming day, and I prepare for death. So, caution, disclaimer, those of you who are new subscribers who are here for Japan content, the only Japan you're going to get out of this video is the Japan that's happening over my shoulder here. For example, as the Lawson Station, one of the workers walks past. This is not a Japan video. This is a video series that I started a long time ago, almost 7 years ago, doing every day to basically help improve my life. So here we go. Last night and yesterday, I slept good. The only challenge that I had, the day is unfolding as follows so far. So I keep every day I have a notebook and I keep notes about as the day goes. I plan the day. So I was up at 4 a.m. and I did my YouTube and social media engagement from 4 to 5 with a cup of coffee. I then went on a walk at 5 a.m., which brought me here at 6 a.m. It took me about half an hour to walk down here. I made a video along the way, for me, a very significant video talking about how Japanese families and family lines end, and the coming end of my own family's line here in Japan. And my discussion with my sister-in-law last night about what we're going to do about our graves. And the fact that there'll be no one left to take care of it. So we have a plan. See the video if you want. I then started my Good Life meditation just a few minutes ago. So I have down I usually keep track of whatever challenges I had in the last 24 hours and whatever opportunities I anticipate for today. The challenge, yesterday was a really good day. It was the second really good day in a row. Both physically and mentally. Physically, I felt like I was in good form yesterday, maybe because I was being careful about what I was eating. I'm sure that was the case. Also, I think that allergies are beginning to strike, and it seemed to not get me so bad yesterday. Also, it was a good day because there just wasn't. The only challenge that I faced yesterday was a sore back. My back hurt a little bit when I'm sitting on the tatami room. That's because the room where I sit with Rudy has no seating whatsoever. I'm just literally sitting on the tatami mats with my back against the wall. That's because this is a temporary place for us to live just until we get our new house in, 4 days? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 more days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wow, 4 more days and we're going to have a house. Amazing. So no real challenges yesterday. It was a really good day yesterday. Were there any opportunities that I had yesterday? Opportunities that I recognized in the moment where I could improve? There were a couple. Most notably was sitting on a bench outside the department store in downtown Shizuoka called Isatan. Yumiko and I went downtown for lunch yesterday at an all-you-can-eat shabu-shabu restaurant. Shabu-shabu is where you take this thinly sliced meat, you kind of swish it around in boiling water, and boiling soup type of thing, broth, and then dip it in a special sauce. It's really good. And it was really good. We had a great lunch. After the lunch, we went for a walk in downtown Shizuoka. We had some dessert. But then I had this moment where we were in Isatan, and like I said, my back hurt, so I wanted to sit down, and I saw a bench outside. Yumiko was going up to the second floor of the department store, and I said, I'll be up there sitting on the bench. And this wasn't because I was not enjoying the shopping. I really was enjoying the shopping. I just wanted to give my back a rest. And I went and sat down, and while I was there, I could feel the great apparatus of 60 years of inertia, that inertia that comes of, raising into adolescence, firing up the energies of young personhood, young manhood in my case, and then, powering through. It's like a bullet being shot out of a barrel of a gun, and with that inertia and that spin, spinning through 40 years of hard labor. And I felt like, as I sat down on the bench and I began to soak up the atmosphere around me, like that inertia was spent, but in the best way possible. Not spent as in ready for death, but spent as in the restless desire to always, how when you're looking forward to going, I don't know if you're like this, but I'm like this, when I'm looking forward to going to a nice restaurant, and then you get to the restaurant, and then you're looking forward to getting through the menu and ordering the meal. And then once you get the meal, you're looking forward to finishing the meal and maybe having dessert. And then when you're done with it, as you're finishing dessert, you're looking forward to leaving the restaurant and paying the check. It's just it's like footsteps falling over one another. It felt like sitting outside that, on that bench, that had ceased for a moment. And I recognized it as that had happened. Yumiko had stepped outside to tell me something before she went upstairs. And I told her, this is the place. And then later I explained to her that what had happened. What I meant by that was that if ever she needs to find me in Shizuoka, that bench will be at the spot. I found a special place. While I sat there, I made two friends. I was sitting there, and two young, maybe 10-year-old girls ran across the street with ice cream and sat down on the bench next to me, not giving me a close look, not realizing I was a foreigner. And then they looked over at me and suddenly gasped, just realized they were sitting right next to a foreigner. And we had a nice little chat about the ice cream, and then they got up and ran away. Not running away from me, just running as little girls do, as little children do. That inertia, right? That's where that inertia comes from. It's the energy of youth, which is a necessary momentum, an inertia, because it's up to them to carry on into the next generation, to fill the world with useful endeavors, the output of their useful endeavors, their good lives, children that they will raise, and to, by their very act of hard work and endeavor, sustain the old people like me, who are now at the end and retired. Don't imagine that I don't think about that a lot. And I'm sure other old people do too, other retired people do as well. We are sustained by the, it would be wrong to call it the largesse of the generations before us, because it is not largesse. It is a contractual obligation that in the modern world that we have engaged in, that each generation will work hard in its time supporting the generation that came before, who, when they pass, the younger generation will take their place, and the younger generation that comes up after them will do that. It's a contract that's been in place for as long as humanity has been around, right? As long as we've been having children that look after the old people. And I think about that a lot now that I'm retired. I look around at all the busy, active people. Since I've been sitting here at this little bench at Lawson, there have been several people that have come and gone and sat over there, downing a quick cup of coffee, eating an onigiri, having a bit of a bite for breakfast as they head off to whatever they're doing on a Saturday. And I give them a nod of gratitude every time I see them. No, I don't, but in my mind. So that was it for opportunity. I recognized in the moment what was happening yesterday when I had that opportunity to seize that moment. And I'm doing it a little bit right now, and there's a little process in the back of my mind that's seizing this moment now too. Maybe I can work this into something. Because if I can keep this up, if I can develop this as my new operational method, What a wonderful thing that would be. Open day. No, no, no. That's heavy. So I talked about yesterday, the challenges and the opportunities. I also remarked on how I felt good all day. I did feel a little bit tired after we got home, and I laid down on the tatami, and then I decided after about 5 minutes of that to take Rudy for a walk, the white dog. We went for a walk, and that helped too. Every time I do that, every time I elect to walk rather than sit, I wind up feeling better. That's worth noting as well, huh? Okay, so this Good Life meditation consists of thinking about the last 24 hours, which I've done. Now I need to go over the creed. There are 8 objectives in my creed. The creed is outlined in my book, Going Alone, which you can peruse at the website, goingalone.org, or buy the book. The 8 objectives are, number 1, to be always ready to die, to have my affairs in order, my relationship sound, and my life's work complete. Number 2, to make good and effective use of my time, to not waste my days, to make good utility of every hour of my day. That's partially why I always lay out the hours hour by hour, trying to plan out how I'm going to structure my day. I basically don't take days off, and I don't rest unless I go to sleep. I'm pretty much go, 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 and I've been like that since I was a boy. Good. So number 2 is the good and effective use of time. 3 is to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, namely those which are in my book, Going Alone, the objectives and the principles. 4 is to cultivate good emotional reactions, to become someone who reacts well when things get hard. Like having a firm stance at all times, whether it be in my body or my mind, my hands on the controls, my brain ready to respond. I'm also beginning to see how that's becoming more and more just the way I am now that I'm retired. The retirement did it. Before I was retired, I was driven by the necessity of my job into like an active state, like a rugby player with the ball in his hands, trying to make his way down the field, constantly dodging and moving, maybe tossing the ball and receiving it back. Now it's become more of a saunter down the field. No one's trying to tackle me anymore. No issues at work are trying to tackle me. Although there will be things that I'll face health-wise that will be in the way. But those are coming. Hopefully I have a little bit of time for those that. Okay, the next is number 5 is to perform good actions. These are good actions relative to my objectives, the objectives of my creed, and in utilization of the principles to get there. Namely, the pursuit of virtue, where virtue is defined as the seeking after and facilitating the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures. Why thinking creatures? Well, because they suffer pain. So I'm more interested in, facilitating, reducing the suffering of my dog Rudy, who I got from a shelter, a kill shelter, than a mushroom that I'll gladly eat in my shabu shabu. Number 6 is to recognize my true limits and my true opportunities, so that I'm reaching for things that I'm actually capable of doing, and allowing to pass by, or I will pass by those things that are beyond my reach. things that I've moved past, like motorcycle riding, like the ambition, the former ambition of my career, things of a past era of life. Number 7 is to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and with a measured, thoughtful cadence in life. And number 8, eighth objective in my creed is to keep my balance so that I'm not tipping one way or the other, but able to maintain my composure, both here and here. Okay, the last thing to do in this meditation is to see if I'm ready to die. And I have 3 criteria, as I mentioned, for death readiness. And that is to have my affairs in order, my relationship sound, and my life's work complete. And I can say with confidence that all 3 of those are in good shape, because I work on them all the time, mainly because I think about it every day. So yeah, if today's the end, if I step out of here or have a heart attack right now, it's all over. My wife and family are cared for. I have no one that I have sour words to remedy, and my life's work is complete. My book is written and my daughter is raised. Now, I survived it. I didn't fall over and die. That means I get another minute, or maybe another hour, maybe another day of life ahead of me, so I can sit straight, aligned to my creed, and carry on with it. So this meditation is done for today. Okay, let's see if there's any comments I need to respond to. Nope. All right. Thanks for joining me. I wish you all the best. Be safe. Not too safe. Take care.